Hey y'all, this is David with Liberty Suppressors, and today we're going to go over how to clean a silencer. Okay, before we get started, one thing you got to do before you clean your silencer, and that's be safe. We're going to do basically two things here. One, we're going to make sure that the firearm in question is unloaded, and we're going to look in the chamber and we're going to look through the mag well to make sure there are no cartridges in this firearm. Now that we've determined the firearm is safe to handle, then we're going to remove the silencer from it. Now we can set the firearm aside for its own cleaning regimen in a little while, and now we can get on to the business of cleaning the silencer. Some of the things you're going to need to clean your suppressor are the same sorts of things you need to clean your firearm. That would be cleaning solvent, an assortment of brushes. I have a stainless brush here and a plastic, and this is the classic M16 toolkit brush that comes in the military toolkits. Some type of tool to scrape the carbon buildup with. This is just a small screwdriver. You could use a pick or an awl or a scribe, anything that's got a sharp edge on the tip just to scrape some carbon buildup with. This works well for us. A little bit of oil never hurts anything. And then a couple of old cleaning cloths. These are from, just cleaning all sorts of stuff. These are those disposable shop rags, but, just some cleaning cloths. And that's all you really need as far as special equipment goes, as far as cleaning equipment. Special equipment would be silencer specific, and that would be sometimes there's a special tool that might be involved in the disassembly of the suppressor. But as far as cleaning goes, this is all you need. All right, this is the video on how to maintenance the Sovereign silencer. It comes in this wonderful Armageddon gear cover. So the first thing we'll do is take it out of the cover. The cover should be like, if you get it dirty, just wash it in the clothes washer. Okay, the maintenance of the Sovereign silencer is pretty straightforward. There's very little that you have to actually maintenance on this suppressor. If you want to take the front cap off, it is removable. Our 2-pin spanner wrench will bite it and allow you to break it loose. This one wasn't super tight. Anything that'll fit in them grooves, we'll unscrew it. We also make I think a specific tool for that. It'll be on our web store if we do. But this will come out, and you can wipe out this region. I normally don't. There's normally not enough buildup. The center line will be cleaned momentarily. I will run a bore brush through these suppressors and clean the carbon buildup around the edge of the baffles. Especially if you're shooting a lot of subsonic ammunition, you'll get a lot of carbon buildup in there. So I'll scrub that bore line just like it was the bore of a gun. And then, since the suppressor isn't meant to be dismantled, I don't worry about the solvent that gets in there. It'll burn off after you shoot it. Especially if you're shooting like high velocity ammo, it'll burn off pretty quick. There are two things that you really do need to kind of clean on the Sovereign. If you have the muzzle brake front cap, okay, then you want to clean the bore area around the aperture and through the bore, and you want to clean these pockets. So there sometimes will be carbon buildup down in these little pockets, and you just scrape it out. You just get in there and scrape out any buildup with a little bit of solvent down there and just wet everything good and wet, and then just break this loose. It'll come out pretty easy off that, and then you just wipe it out. It'll dry pretty quickly. The other one is the mount. Now this has a direct thread adapter on it right now, but the Sovereign comes with several different adapters. Depending on which adapter you have, depends on what tool you use to remove it. But if you have, say, the LS2 flash suppressor, then the Sovereign will screw off of the gun and the flash suppressor will stay on the gun. Then you just clean that suppressor, that flash hider, with solvent and a scrub brush like any other part of the gun. The rear mount is removed with a hex wrench. And I don't remember, I think it's a 1-inch. It might be a 7/8, but I'm pretty sure it's a 1-inch hex wrench. And sometimes these mounts can get pretty tight. And so I use the impact hammer technique to where you pretend this is the hex wrench. You'll grab it and you'll hold the hex wrench on the mount and then strike the handle of the wrench with something like a small hammer or something to to shock it and break it loose, because these taper locks will engage to the point that they'll stick pretty well. But a couple of light raps with a hammer like that, and just smack it a couple times, it'll break that loose, and then it'll normally spin out freely. This one's already been broken loose, so it screws out by hand. So the only thing that you're really going to do is take the mount out, and you're going to clean this surface very good. This taper is important. It needs to be very clean, and clean out the threads. Make sure there's no trash in them. The internal threads don't really matter, because the gun barrel will actually keep those protected where it's actually screwed into the silencer mount. You can clean it if you want. It won't hurt a thing. It's all stainless steel, and you can clean off this surface. It'll sometimes build up a little carbon around these holes. All that is just clearance for volume addition. And then once you're done with that and you've wiped that off, you set it aside. And the only thing you're going to worry about in here, that taper surface in there and these threads. You don't have to worry about the buildup down in the suppressor, because it'll take eons. And if you do start seeing buildup forming in the corners of this blast chamber, you can reach in with something and just scrape it and break it loose and get it out, you know. But you don't have to like clean the inside of the Sovereign proper. It's not necessary. But once you've cleaned that journal, I just brush it out good, and then you wipe off this taper, because you want that taper nice and clean. Because that taper is what aligns the silencer with the mount. Get that there. Now that that's nice and smooth, I never put like anti-seize on that journal, because you want that to seat without anything interfering. So I want it to be a dry fit. Whoops, dropped it. There we go. Now let's screw this back in. And then once it's seated, that's done. And then, you know, just cursory wipe off the outside. Get any dirt and debris that might be built up on the Cerakote off, and you're done. It's that simple. So that's really all there is to cleaning your suppressor. So if you don't mind, go over to our social media. You can follow us there. You can see what we do. You can contact us. You know, go to our website. We have an email subscription. You can subscribe to that. So until next time, be sure to keep your powder dry. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.